Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Queen here in the bottom right-hand corner. Ssak in the top left. My name is Sanasi. I'm joined by Shun for yet another replay cast. And this is going to be a banger. I mean, it is on Nemesis, so we generally get good games here. I.e. the Soma versus Light game that we've casted recently on the channel. What do you think about this map, man? This map, it brings us so many fun things, I think.
Oh, it's pretty wild, and the fact that it enables Guardian play so easily, I love that reason. I love being able to see like Guardians being utilized. One thing I don't like about it is this big, wide open center that just has like no high ground value, and it kind of gives the Terran a lot of map control if they do want to do a mix push later on. But hold the phone saying we see an 8-Rex in the natural, but a really fast 9 drone scout coming out from Queen, checking the center, maybe scouting in the wrong location to the top right, so won't quite sniff out this 8-Rex just yet, but is already maybe suspecting that this kind of aggression is very likely to happen on the map like this.
Yeah, I can understand Queen wanting to get this early scout out, try to find out what Ssak is up to. Queen, aka Zero, one of the greatest zerg players of all time. Absolutely outclassing, I think, Ssak in a lot of respects. So he wants to find out what kind of cheese he might be bringing his way, and it is going to be that 8-Rex cheese. So now he knows immediately what's coming here, and he can pull the sufficient number of drones to deal with it and not take too much damage, hopefully.
Yeah, it is cross map as well, so it does take a little bit longer for these Marines to come down, and someone of Queen's caliber has absolutely exceptional unit control, so could pull just the right amount of drones at the right time to bypass the effectiveness of this push. He needs to basically lose no more than 2 drones at the very most to make sure he doesn't give an even trade or an advantage to the Terran player here.
Yeah, the barracks of Ssak just going to fly back into that wall in, and he is taking a gas behind this, so we will see vultures afterwards. He's not going to build any more Marines and go right into a command center, but one drone does go down. Really good control there to pick off the second, or the first Marine, though. And he will be pulling back.
Look at that beautiful body block with the drone as well, and the slide away to save it. Beautiful drill, saves the drone as well. Absolutely exceptional
Control from Queen there, mitigating the second drone loss, making it so that he now is at an advantage after that beautiful drone pull and dealing with that 8-Rex. Absolutely amazing exemplary play from Queen.
That is so much harder to do than it looks. Very, very difficult stuff. Now the SCV here is looking for those low HP drones. Maybe he can find one on a mineral patch and try to deal some damage to it, but it looks like all the drones have kind of healed up at this point. He will be able to get into his sunken colony here, expecting the follow-up play from Ssak. It's pretty much exactly what you would hope a Terran player is doing after the initial 8-Racks is go into a factory and into a starport, get a Wraith out, get a Vulture out, and just control the map before getting into that second base. But that Vulture's going to come across the map. It's not going to find any damage. And the Wraith, I guess it can probably pick off a couple of Overlords, but it's going to be met with a Spire here very soon, with Spire Tech coming down in the main base of Queen. He should have Midas and Scourge out in time to not take too much damage on his drones, at least.
Yeah, he will probably lose. He certainly will lose at least one Overlord. He may lose 2. There's
Run
going
by,
to be
run
a
by.
Vulture run by right now.
into the main base. He will slip in with both of these vultures. That's absolutely huge. There's nothing here to defend with good Vulture micro. Queen's going to lose quite a few of these drones. Tries to get this around. Beautiful surround on this Vulture. Traps it in a prison of drones with spines. Absolutely decimating that Vulture. And now zoning out the other one up to the high ground area, where he has nowhere to retreat to. He's going to get this Vulture as well. Ssak desperately trying to micro this Vulture to pick off a few of the drones just before it dies. Does get taken down though. Beautifully handled from Queen, kind of averting absolute crisis mode there.
Yeah, that was a long distance to chase down the Vulture there, but definitely worth it. Managing to kill that off with just pure drone is gonna save his economy in the long run. He can now get back to mining without any more harassment here, but that was some significant damage dealt by Ssak. You never like to see a vulture slip into the main base, and now he's going to pick off overlords. He's going to get... Oh, good job building a building here. It doesn't restore the HP, but it does save the drone for now. Oh, he does go after that and finishes it off. So getting a single drone kill and a couple of overlords as well. This play from Ssak has actually worked out pretty nicely.
Yeah, the fact that he got so much damage done with just those 2 vultures alone is a big win for him. Like, he could have gotten a lot more for his trouble if Queen wasn't so on top of his drone control there, but it doesn't really matter. The damage was done. He slowed down Queen's economy just enough to put himself into a good position. We do see Cloak Wraith on the way. Interesting choice from him. He only has the single star pot, but it's still getting that cloaker. I don't think that Queen will anticipate that as well.
Yeah, getting that cloak is a little bit unorthodox. It is going to eat into his gas income here by quite a lot. And he's actually also going for science facility. So his gas, not very high right now. We'll see how he does. With that science facility coming up, I think he can just barely right now afford the upgrade and a vessel to start. Looks like he will start that first vessel. Cloak Wraiths are out on the map, just kind of sharking around here, looking for perhaps an overlord, and they will find one. There's an overlord. I'm gonna snipe that one down, and that really prevents Queen from attacking. Oh wait, there is one more overlord over here on the left side. If you don't have an overlord with this attack, there's really nothing you can do against these Cloak Wraiths. He's coming back into the natural, actually. Oh god, he's gonna kill some drones here once again.
There's a few overlords in the main base, but nothing here in the natural, so quite a few of these drones are going to go down. There are two Mutalisks here to try and zone out those Wraiths from doing any further damage in the main, while the overlord is escorted to the natural. Another overlord does pop out as well, so it's going to have to retreat those Wraiths. Getting so much damage done with these little skirmishes. We have Mutalisks in the main base of Ssak right now, trying to pick off some of these SCVs building turrets to try and find a window of opportunity to punish this kind of greedy, like middle road Terran that we're not really building a lot of units early game. He wants to get on top of this vessel and snipe it off.
He might get it. He gets the vessel. That's really huge, saying.
Sniping that first vessel is absolutely massive. We've only got one starport here for Ssak, so he's not really building a whole lot. Another few drones went down at the 6 o'clock, it looks like, as well, which is the third base for Queen. So these Wraiths have done just crazy amount of damage here in this game. And I mean, the Queen, he's going to keep pouring on the pressure here with more and more mutas sending forward, but I think these Wraiths can just fly in again and deal more damage.
Yeah, like I said, Terran player doesn't have many units out on the field right now. Just like a handful of naked Marines, no medic support. I don't even think they have stim right now. So yeah, like a really, really tough situation because he needs that first vessel with a radiate to start dealing with this Mutalisk clump, and he doesn't have it. He's got the second vessel out now, but it's going to be a little bit of time before that irradiate is going to come online. Probably at 60 energy. Is taking shots at this Terran barracks at the front wall as well, forcing him to float that back before he loses it.
What do you think about him getting siege mode right now? I feel like this is way too early for a push. He's still under a lot of pressure. He only has one barracks, second one coming up. This seems funny.
He doesn't have scan, so he's not entirely sure or if he does have the Wraiths to scout, which is what he's kind of relying on right now. But if he can't get a good scout with his Wraiths, he might be a little bit shy about having to deal with a possible Hydra into Lurker switch as well, especially if Queen wants to throw him a little bit of a curveball. That's the kind of thing he might do to try and attack the front with a lot of Hydralisks or Lurkers at the early game phase before the Terran has built up a force to defend with. So tanks can be a good defensive measure to prevent any form of bust coming in and also afford him some time to push later on. But like you said, he's not going to be able to push for quite some time, and he's killing so many drones with these Wraiths. They're still going to work. One Wraith has 9 kills, another has 5, and the other another 5. So that's like 19 kills on these Wraiths so far.
Crazy kills on the Wraiths. The mutas are still here fighting in the main as well. We don't have enough energy for a radiate just yet, but I think we're about to have it. Yeah, just now getting that energy. He's gonna fight with the mutas, just killing as many Marines as he can, but oh man, he's losing all the mutas now. This is really painful. The Wraiths have come back finally to defend, but they've done such a good job out on the map.
I mean, all he really did was supply block Ssak for getting all those mutas killed. So it's really not a good situation for Queen here. He's going to be really careful. He really desperately wants to get back into this main base and start sniping off more tech units like the vessels, because he needs to reduce that vessel count, or he's not going to have much ability to keep the Terran at bay once the irradiates start coming out on the map and affording him a very strong tank push in a moment.
Looks like more drones are going to go down here at the 6 o'clock. Man, it really bugs me that he hasn't built any sort of defense for this location. One spore will completely shut this down. He's finally building an evolution chamber, and he's going into Queen's Nest, so maybe we're going to see an ultraless transition from here, but this is just way too much damage. He's been denied off of that third gas for so long here. He's going to get trapped in this corner, and a radiate goes down. It's so hard to pull out in this situation, but he does manage to pull out some of those mutas. Oh, and I think he gets a vessel as well. Nicely done there, but this is still a very weak clump of mutas. It's been damaged very heavily, and the Ssak still has one turret. He's going to bring the Marines back. Another irradiate goes down, and more are to follow. Ooh, this group is getting so low.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough for Queen. He might end up with some unwanted children after this game if he doesn't pull out soon. Unfortunately for him, he's had a really hard time trying to win this air superiority battle. And like you said, he didn't really respect the one port Wraith enough. And he kind of like cut the defense of making a spore, not really respecting the low Wraith count, but he's really paid the price for doing so.
Yeah, these Wraiths are sitting actually between his third and his main base, and he sends Scourge out to the left side here, over down to the bottom left. He's not going to find those. It's just a funny spot that Ssak has decided to leave these Wraiths, and it's going to serve him well. He's just sitting there. Eventually he will be able to fly back in, kill all of these drones once again, and he's starting to move out finally. Oh, 2 more science vessels go down there. Queen waiting for the perfect opportunity, snipes 2 vessels as they're coming out from the main base. Really well done. Ssak just gonna fly right on back in here to the third, kill off this Overlord, and then go to work on the drones once again. We still don't have Overlord movement speed here for Queen either, so he's not gonna be able to kill these. They're just gonna cloak and deal more damage.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane. Look at this tank push coming from Ssak. How is he going to stop this? There's a science vessel with almost enough energy for a radiate as well. We only have approximately like 9 to 10 mutas out on the field. It's not really going to be enough to stop a push like this, especially if Ssak controls his army and keeps his Marines tight in a square formation as he makes his way down. There's only one single sunken online. The Hydra scan has only just finished up, so lurkers aren't going to be out for a long time. The radiate goes down on the muta clump as well. Not splitting them quick enough is Queen, taking quite a few hits. Now tank sieging up in range of that sunken colony. Marines starting to lay siege. Just expansionary going to quickly pick up the kill on that sunken and start to make their way into the natural area. Drones starting to evacuate into the main base for Queen, but a lot of them are going to be gunned down by the ghost rifles of the Marines. Mutas coming in with the Scourge to try and dive on the mutas. Science vessel survives with 1 HP, Sen, but he does get on top of the tanks and clean those up. There's just so much bio here for him to deal with. I don't know how he's going to hold up this push.
Well, one good thing that's going from, at least he saved the majority of his drones. He sent them all into the main base, and there is space for them at the third. He's picking off all the wraiths now, finally. And this Marine clump is not that big, but we just don't have the production. We don't have the gas to actually build up a big enough mutilous force to hold this off. Some more Scourge are going to come up here, but that's not what he needs. He finally kills the last few Marines, but losing that natural base is critical damage, and Ssak just goes back home to gear up for his next push. It's going to have a lot more science vessels, a lot more tanks, and GG. Queen taps out. Ssak takes that victory off of some pretty cool single port Wraith play.
Yeah, there was a really nice moment there where Queen was attacking his own egg to bounce Mutaglaze to help with the Bioforce at the ramp. It was nice, but other than that, just got absolutely crushed with that push.
All right, guys, that is it. Here are your statistics. A fun game there. ZVT, always a blast. Really my favorite matchup. Queen, not quite able to handle that kind of impromptu one-port Wraith style. The Cloak Wraith tearing him apart, dealing so much damage. If he had gone up against 2-port Wraith, he would have dealt with that, I think, a lot better. But that middle of the road build, it seems like Queen didn't quite know what to do there. He just underestimated it for sure.
Yeah, really strong play from Ssak there, like really showing his caliber to taking out a player like Queen with such a technical, low unit count build.
really, really, really well played from Ssak.
All right, guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next cast.